Hello, everybody. We are back yet again with the new campaign trail. And one thing that I forgot to mention in my last video, thank you guys so much for 1,000 subscribers. Thank you. It means absolutely so much to me that, people are interested in elections and, what I have to share, election history, new campaign trail, and eventually I will be making many history videos. Thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. It means so much to me. But anyway, we're back with the new campaign trail yet again, and today we're going to do the election of 1988. And the 1988 election is different from the other ones I've done, being so that Dukakis, for a large chunk of the election, was ahead in the polls. But he blew it. And it's not necessarily all of his fault, but it was his election to lose. And there's four things that really cost Dukakis the election. Number one is the tank photo. Number two is the debate with the, death penalty question. Number three is being labeled as a liberal by George Bush. And number four is, what is number four? There's something else in there, and I'll probably think of it later. But yeah, these labels. Oh yeah, and the Willie Horton thing, being soft on crime. That's the fourth one. So we're going to try to avoid all of that. We're going to try and deflect all of that. And if we can do that, I have no doubt in my mind that we can win this election. Okay, I know my record for the new campaign trail. It's decent, but I haven't, overwhelmingly won an election. I've come close to winning, but we're going to win today. We're going to change that for the better. All right, so after 8 years of Ronald Reagan, the nation seems headed for a new direction in government. George Bush is Reagan's vice president, but trails his challenger by several points. Michael Dukakis, governor of Massachusetts, is a new figure on the national scene. Can he keep the good feelings going through Election Day? Bush must find some way to shake up the race. He could emphasize the strong economy or attack Dukakis on a number of fronts. And he's going to do that. He's going to call me a liberal. And that's a bad, dirty word back in the 80s. So Michael Dukakis has been elected 3 times as governor of Massachusetts. His chances this year seem to be good. If he can press the case of his own ability and challenge the readiness of Bush, Dukakis won the nomination without aligning himself firmly with a specific wing of the party. That's pretty good because it starts off with Gary Hart as the front runner, and he has his Donna Rice scandal. Jesse Jackson is still there, but Jesse Jackson is, he's a little bit too far to the left to win, at least back then, to win the nomination. There's Al Gore, but ultimately Michael Dukakis is going to win the nomination. His national reputation is positive, but in Kuwait, he will be expected to define himself more clearly and may need to explain some older votes and decisions as they become known. They're going to find quite a bit of dirt on me, aren't they? So running mates. So we got a couple options here. We got Lloyd Bentsen, who I'm probably going to go with. Lloyd Bentsen, he's just all around a very strong running mate. He has a fantastic resume. He has been in politics for a very long time. He's from Texas. He's a moderate. It's kind of a no-brainer to go with Lloyd Bentsen, but anyway. Lloyd Bentsen has served as a senator from Texas since 1971. In his first senatorial election, he defeated George Bush. He is viewed as a moderate Democrat, particularly on economic issues. Texas could be a competitive state in the fall, and Bentsen's presence would help here. He is also very experienced on the national political stage. No Democrat has ever lost Texas and gone to win a presidential election. Well, not until 1992. We got John and Glenn from Ohio. We got Al Gore, which Al Gore could be good. And Jesse Jackson. Ultimately, I'm going to go with Lloyd Bentsen. I just feel like he's going to be the best choice. All right. Let's do this. Okay, what message will you most empathize as you accept the Democratic Party nomination? I will take the attack to George Bush, who has all the weaknesses of Ronald Reagan and none of the strengths. No, we do not want to praise Reagan in any way. As governor of Massachusetts, I have led a capable liberal administration of that state. We want to avoid that word liberal. That's going to hurt us. I am a capable, pragmatic leader who will bring the Massachusetts miracle to bear on a national scale. I mean, yeah, governor of Massachusetts, but again, Massachusetts is known as a very liberal state. We want to get away from these labels. We don't want to be labeled as a far-left liberal. I will call on all Americans who have been cast aside by our winner-take-all economy and our lopsided tax cuts to unite and send the Republicans a clear message this fall. We're going to go with that one, without a doubt. Americans seem ready to move on from Reagan, but partly on the assumption that you are a pragmatic, moderate administrative type and not a liberal like Mondale. How dare you diss Mondale? How dare you? How absolutely dare you? To what extent will you make your performance as governor of Massachusetts a centerpiece of your campaign? I mean, I don't want to make that the centerpiece. Unlike George Bush, I have led executive branch of government. No, that's not going to help. We will strike a balance between emphasizing my own experience along making some attacks on George Bush. It's probably a little better to take the attack of George Bush. We will obviously give Massachusetts some mention, but not the main focus. That's pretty good. We'll do that. George Bush is nowhere near as popular as Reagan, and it is not a bad idea to make some attacks against him. All right, pretty good. And the map is looking quite promising, isn't it? I mean, can we just hold the election today, guys? I mean, I won. Let's just hold today. But alas, we have to go on with the actual campaign. So I think most likely, I mean, I would like to go to Texas. We'll start in Texas, but I don't want Texas to be the main point of this campaign, because ultimately I feel it's going to come down to states like Ohio, California, and Michigan. I feel like those are the states where you really, really have to hold in order to win this thing. But we'll go to Texas first. Oh my God, and we have the perfect question in Texas. What do you have to say about the selection of Lloyd Bentsen as your running mate? I mean, Lloyd Bentsen, he's just great, isn't he? To what extent will your campaign focus on your background as a child of Greek immigrants and your rise through American society? I mean, I'm not really one for identity politics, but let's see what we got. We would do better to focus on political views and attacks rather than re-emphasize my own heritage. My biography is an asset to our campaign, and I will not hesitate to emphasize it. That's kind of like a narcissistic thing to do. I want to run a series of compare and contrast advertisements, comparing my own humble background to that of George Bush. Now that's more like it. The thing you gotta know about George Bush is that he is like, a pretty rich dude. I mean, obviously. But the thing with George Bush is that in 1992, it came out that, he was kind of confused with the concept of a supermarket. He just seemed out of touch because, he's super rich and all this stuff is done for him. So, yeah, he was kind of out of touch. So we're going to run these ads. Your own biography always plays well. All right, we're still doing pretty good. 3 points in Texas, 1 point in Louisiana. That's pretty good. I want to do one visit to Louisiana, and then we're going to go to Ohio right after. I mean, 1 point in Kentucky, though. That's all. I mean, that's in play. So, what do I have more of a chance of? Crime and drugs is going to be a theme of this. Okay. Louisiana, let's go. What is your opinion on the selection of Dan Quayle as George Bush's running mate? Dan Quayle is obviously underqualified to serve as president. Should the need arise? Okay, good. We're gonna hammer away on Dan Quayle at every opportunity we get. Attacking Dan Quayle is a no-brainer. You can't let this terrible choice of a running mate go unpunished. Perfect. Will you continue the tradition of debating your opponent in the month before the election? Okay, that's one thing about Dukakis' campaign that really, really destroyed it. You guys know the famous question about the death penalty that just sunk his campaign, but I don't know if it was the first or the second debate. So let's do it. Your debates with Bush are largely inconclusive, and analysts agree that they are unlikely to affect the race. Okay, good. Okay, so we're doing pretty good in Louisiana, but I want to There's Kentucky, Ohio, Michigan. We're doing pretty strong in all of these states, honestly. But I think I want to run up the total at least a little bit in Ohio. So let's go to Ohio. How do you plan to attack the candidacy of George Bush, if at all? Oh, we gotta attack Bush. We oversaw the Massachusetts miracle. Nope. I grew up middle class and indistinctly understand their concerns. Bush grew up as a millionaire, son of a senator, and has remained out of touch ever since. Liberalism, nope. And I mean, we could always just do a positive campaign, but I do want to hammer away on Bush. I think hammering, but so either a 2 or 4 would be good options. I think honestly, let's just run a positive campaign. Bush will certainly be attacking you this fall. It's part of the game if you're running for president. Huh. That hurt me. Hasn't hurt me yet. Okay, yeah, that did hurt. So we gotta attack Bush as much as we can. The Bush campaign is attacking your opposition in the invasion of Grenada and bombing of Libya. What is your response? We need to change the imagery of this issue. Let's do a photo of me riding a tank. Oh my God, could you imagine? I'd lose right away. We need to counterattack Reagan and Bush for the pointless increases of defense spending, which has destroyed the federal budget this decade. Okay, so obviously this is a gotcha question because none of these responses are good. We just gotta pick the least bad one. I support both of these actions in general. I criticize specific aspects of their implementation. I'm interested to know why Bush would distort the truth on this. I think that would be the best option, I hope. Your position is not that popular as voters learn about it, but at least you are keeping yourself in the fray. Okay, so we're still doing pretty good. 313 electoral votes, but we're definitely being beat down a little bit right now. I mean, Texas is still in the conversation. Louisiana, we're doing pretty good. I don't know what would be more important, keeping a state like Ohio or trying to flip Texas. I think we got to keep what we got right now. So let's go back to Ohio. Free trade. Okay, so we gotta look at what these states want. So trade, so protectionist in Ohio, but the South is free trade. Okay, so this could really hurt us. Are protectionist measures of some kind needed to counteract the dominance of Japan in foreign trade? I don't know. I don't know what to do on this one. So what about California? So free trade. Michigan is moderate, so I think we might have to go with a free trade option. It might not be popular, but overall, though, I think we can try and win back Ohio later, but we should go with the free trade option. Our first resort should be to negotiate with Japan and take steps to enhance competitiveness of American industry, but I wouldn't take anything off the table. We have taken too many steps to expand world trade without adequately protecting American workers from consequences. I would definitely run a more protectionist administration. I think we can take limited steps to bring trade back into balance, but in general, we should celebrate the expansion of world trade with our allies. I mean, if we win Texas, then it's over. That's the thing. We need to keep California. California is going to be essential to our campaign. So, do I give up Ohio? But then again, Illinois, but I do have a pretty decent lead in Illinois, so I might be able to sacrifice that. So we'll celebrate. We'll celebrate it. A naked support of free trade is taking things a little too far for the Democratic Party right now. How are we doing now, though? Doesn't look like it helped us too much. It actually hurt us in Louisiana, but they're free trade. Okay. Could more have been done to prevent the current farm crisis which devastated the upper Midwest? Okay, this is one of Dukakis' strong points. That's why he won Iowa by so much. So we could have stabilized the situation much earlier with aggressive intervention from the federal government. Okay. This is probably your best response. Take the attack to Bush. Okay, so we're still winning, but that definitely hurt us. So we're at 272, so we're just barely winning. So we gotta go back to Ohio. Ohio is going to be essential then. Oh, great. The Bush campaign is attacking the Massachusetts prison furlough program, which included furloughs for convicted murderers. One such person, Willie Horton, killed again in Maryland. What is your response? Okay, this is bad. This is really bad. Again, it's just like one of those questions that's going to absolutely tank my campaign. We can say that we got one of the lowest crime rates in the nation. I mean, that's pretty much all we can do. We can deflect, but I don't know how much that's going to help. And we can say that we made the wrong decision, which is also not going to help. We're just going to say we have one of the lowest crime rates. This is a damaging attack, but at least you're fighting it back against its worst effect. I think that's realistically all I could do. Okay. The Bush campaign has repeatedly called you a liberal or liberal governor, and so on. Do you embrace the label of liberal? I mean, not in the 80s. That's really not going to help. So, no, we have to go on the offense on this one. I'm a liberal in the tradition of FDR and Harry Truman, John Kennedy. That's just not going to work. Doesn't matter what label we use. Nope. The Bush campaign continues to use dishonest language to scare the American people. I'm a pragmatist and moderate Democrat. Bush is the real extremist in this race. Okay, we got to do that. Your base is upset at your hesitancy to use the L word, but at least you're sticking to a strong position on this. Okay, good. All right, so we're still in good health, but I think we're losing the election now. Yeah, now we're losing the election. So Michigan we got to get. Ohio we got to get. We need these two states. I mean, Texas is not out of the question still, but my states are really light blue, and that is quite concerning. So any wrong moves are really going to hurt me. I think we should go to Michigan. 20 electoral votes. Doesn't Michigan have like 14 or something nowadays? It's pretty low. Television advertising is coming to dominate the political campaign season. Where should the greatest emphasis be placed in your ads? Okay, let's focus on my record as a Greek immigrant who has risen to the highest positions in American life. No. Let's attack the Reagan deficit. Or let's attack George Bush as a creature of his political handlers who lacks any deep-seated convictions or a record of governing competence. I mean, he's VP, so I don't think that's exactly going to land. So we can attack the Reagan deficit. I mean, that's always a big thing. I mean, that's just the go-to for Democrats in the 80s. The Bush campaign is highlighting the pollution in Boston Harbor to counter your claims of a Massachusetts miracle. How will you respond? It is important to remain above the fray and continue with a positive message of our campaign. Nope. We will point out that the Reagan EPA is chiefly at fault for the lack of funds and action in that case. We'll attack Bush's dishonesty. Or we can do something completely different. I think it would be good to make a TV ad if you went to Texas and spoke with some people who have been put out of work by the oil crash there. Let's ask them how they feel about the Reagan economy. Perfect. This is a gutsy move, but people get the message. In any case, at least they're looking at your face instead of a toxic waste dump. So, I mean, it's closing up quite a bit. So, I think we need to take another trip to Michigan. But then again, Louisiana's not out of play. Kansas within 2 points? What is this? Could you imagine? We're going to go to Michigan, though. Your running mate Lloyd Benson is widely believed to defeat Dan Quayle in the vice presidential debate. Will you come back to this moment in your TV ads or speeches? Absolutely, we will. The selection of Dan Quayle as a running mate is deeply concerning. Attacking Dan Quayle is a no-brainer. Perfect. Do you believe that there should be federal funding for abortions? Oh, God. Oh, God, that's bad. Okay, so we don't want to do that, okay? Maybe nowadays a Democrat could do that, but back then, absolutely not. So This is definitely taking things too far. Roe v. Wade case is settled law, but federal funding for the practice is an entirely different matter. I support any federal effort to increase the health and well-being of women in America. I mean, you could win on that nowadays, but definitely not back then. I have an open mind on this issue, but it would depend on who needs that money and what case. Okay, so we just gotta say it's settled. Like, just take the moderate approach. Core supporters are frustrated by this position, but overall, we're still doing pretty good. 1 point in Louisiana now. That actually hurt us in Kansas, of all places. Weird. So, electoral vote, so we're at 260. Let's take a trip to Louisiana. If we can win Louisiana, then we can win the election. What measures should be taken to assist states such as Texas, which have been hurt by the recent oil crash? Okay. We need more funding for federal programs to mitigate the worst effects of this downturn. Cheap oil is an overall benefit to the economy. I believe that American companies should have every right to bid on foreign oil contracts with our allies. We need a comprehensive energy strategy to re-implement price supports for domestic oil production. I mean, that's a no-brainer. This is a bold position, but it could definitely help some Texas Democrats make up their minds. Good. Hopefully it helps out in Louisiana as well. Do you support additional gun control measures at the federal level? So we got to keep California, okay? Oh my God, but so California is liberal on social issues. Michigan is like moderate, so this is going to lose us Texas. I don't think we're going to win Texas, so we might be able to risk it. So I believe that we need to consider any measure to reduce the nation's crime epidemic, including new gun control legislation. I would only support limited steps on this issue, like a ban on cop killer bullets. Overall, I'm an opponent against increased gun control. This is getting completely backwards. American families have every right to defend themselves from America's crime epidemic. Honestly, I think we need to go moderates on this one. All right, so, I mean, California, that hurt us a little bit in California, but overall, we're still pretty competitive, which is what I want. Let's go back to Michigan. Michigan, we have to win Michigan. We need to win Michigan. Okay. How will you address the Iran-Contra scandal as you campaign for president? We prefer to focus on issues of policy and economics in this election, not political scandals. We'll hammer on this theme, particularly on Bush's claim that he knew nothing about it. What kind of executive is he if he knew nothing about Iran-Contra? Where are the scandals from my administration in Massachusetts? I'm clearly more competent alternative in this election. We'll just hammer away on him. This is a good opening to remind voters of Bush's unpopularity and possible lack of judgment. Good. Okay, how's that looking? Okay, we'll go back. In 1977, you vetoed a law requiring teachers to begin the school day with their I apologize for mispronouncing these words. I really do. Recitation of the Pledge of Allegiance. What were you thinking? Oh God, this is a gotcha question. This could be bad. This is an attempt by Republicans to deflect attention from the unpopularity of their own candidate, Mr. Bush, and his elitist background and policies. Maybe we guys gotta do that. I think these other two responses I don't really like. It seems to be hurting you no matter what, but at least you put a good response to this attack. Good. Okay, so, oh my God. We're winning. Okay, so we got Michigan. I want to somehow... I mean, Texas is in play. We can get Texas. This is in the realm of possibility. We can win this thing. We can do it. We got 4 questions left. Is it true that you are a card-carrying member of the American Civil Liberties Union? Okay, this could be bad. At one time, I was a member of the ACLU, but I've been as concerned as any American by some of the cases that the organization has taken in the past few years. I am a proud member of the American Civil Liberties Union. I don't share every belief that group has, but I'm not going to cancel my membership because of some spurious... Okay, so that's not good. And that's not good. We're just going to just kind of, deflect that a little bit. This is probably the best you can do with this attack. Okay, so that's good. How are we doing? Oh my god, that hurt us. That actually hurt us a lot. Crap. Are you willing to rule out any further increases to the federal income tax if elected president? Read my lips, there will be no new taxes under my administration. I don't know if that would help us at all. Like, obviously it's a famous gaffe, but would that hurt us? I hope this isn't necessary, but I would be irresponsible to rule out anything at the present time. I don't like that. My opponent will raise taxes, and so will I. He won't tell you. I just did. Could you imagine? As president, I will do anything I can to cut income taxes further. Is there anything on taxes on here? Okay, we got to be really careful. It's either going to be read my lips, which is probably going to backfire, or I will do anything I can to cut income taxes further. I mean, let's just do that. More tax cuts are not part of the Democratic Party orthodoxy at this point. But that helped us. So, okay, so we're in the final stretch of this campaign, guys. Oh, we even got Vermont. Did you know that Vermont, from, I think it's, other than 1964, Vermont never voted for a Democrat up until Bill Clinton. It's craziness. Never voted for FDR. It's pretty good stuff going on. So we will go back to Texas. I would love to win Texas personally. Oh God. Okay. This is the question. This is the biggest question of this. What is your position on capital punishment? We cannot bungle this question, or else we lose the election. We need to do anything necessary to reduce the staggering rate of crime and murder and violent crime in this country. I believe that capital punishment is ineffective, so this would lose us the election. So we just have to go with states' rights on this one. I know this goes against what Michael Dukakis believes, but we got to win. As capital punishment becomes an issue, it's difficult to find a position that doesn't alienate some group of your voters. Okay, are we still winning, though? Oh my God, man. Really? To what extent will you remind voters that you served in the United States Army? It wouldn't hurt to mix in some old photographs of myself in military dress with a tough on defense ads we run. I'll mention this aspect of my biography frequently, particularly in contrast with Dan Quayle. I mean, always attacking Dan Quayle is good. The third option, no, we don't want to do the third option. Oh God, I mean, both of these are pretty good options. So, I mean, do we really need to keep on hammering away on Dan Quayle at this point? I mean, we might as well. I mean, tough on defense ads. No, this is camera away on Dan Quayle. It never hurts to remind voters of your time in the military. Okay, so, oh my God, that hurt us though. That really hurt us. We should have just did this. Oh my God. We should have just done those tough on defense ads. Oh my God. Okay. We got to go to Michigan. Like, we can. Okay. Where else can we try to win this at this point? This might be it. Michigan. Okay, so where you spend the final day of your campaign? We have to get the Midwest. We have to get the Midwest. Without that, we can't win. So, honestly, I don't know if we're going to win. This is going to be very, very close. If we don't win Ohio or Michigan, then, like, we're ruined. We have to win Michigan and we have to win Ohio. Without those states, we lose. So, I just hope that our campaigning there will be effective. Like, legitimately, I don't know if we're going to win or lose. I think it's probably a 60-40 split that we're probably going to lose, but there's a good chance we could win this. Man, that 23rd and 24th question, that killed me. All right, so we got DC. Oh my God, come on. We need to get some victories. Come on. So far we got nothing. Okay, we got West Virginia. Got Massachusetts, Rhode Island. Okay. Illinois, we got our first big state. Dukakis didn't win that in real life. Minnesota. Pennsylvania. Okay. Connecticut. New York. Oh, no, he won Ohio. Oh, my God, we lost, man. We can't win without Ohio. And if he wins Michigan, that's it. I think we lost this one. Without Ohio, then we don't really have a good path. It's not going to be enough. We got Michigan though, so I don't think it's going to be enough even with California. I mean, we got Montana. If we win South Dakota, maybe it could seal it up. Okay, we got it. Okay, I think we got this? We got it! We won! What? Thank you, Montana. Congratulations. You won this year's election. We did it. I thought I lost that one. Click OK to view the rest of the returns or skip straight to the final results. We sure hope you have a nice victory speech prepared for your supporters. My fellow Americans, thank you. Thank you so much. This is going to be a great 4 years. Yeah, we did it, guys. Wow, I was not expecting Montana. So let's see how we did in South Dakota. 1 point in South Dakota, 2 points in Ohio. New Jersey, 5 points. Maine, 3 points. Vermont, we won by just a point. California pulled through for us. Montana, almost 2 points in Montana. I'll take some pride in that. Missouri, about 2.5 points. Go to the final results. Congratulations, Governor. Despite a vicious attack from the Republicans, you've been elected president. Conservatism still has its place in the mind of the public, as seen with this win. So be prepared to face constant adversaries in the chambers of Congress. Tax cuts for the rich will certainly be scaled back under your administration, as well as you will reduce military spending. With all this new money, perhaps Social Security can be expanded. Just watch the deficit, and you could get reelected if you follow through with your competent persona. 49.1% of the I lost the popular vote. Wow. Didn't see that coming. Bush must be pretty angry right now. Okay, so we'll see the closest states. So the closest state was Colorado. 8 electoral votes. How many electoral votes did I actually get? I'm just so happy that 277. 277. So basically, how many did I win Colorado by? It came down to 10,000 votes for me to win. California was also pretty close. South Dakota, 2,000 votes. Vermont, 2,000 votes again. 40,000 votes in Michigan. 20,000 in Louisiana. We could have got Louisiana. Montana, I mean, we won a majority. Okay, my biggest victory, let's see. Biggest victory, Washington, D.C. Only 75% in Washington, D.C. That's actually pretty low. Hawaii, Iowa. So yeah, Iowa, I think, was Dukakis' biggest victory in the actual election. Minnesota, Wisconsin, Rhode Island, Massachusetts. Okay, what about Bush? Utah, that makes sense. But anyway, we won. We won. I will take some pride in that. Without a doubt, you know, I did it. Finally did it, guys. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. We got a President Michael Dukakis. Oh yeah, it's good. Anyway, more videos coming soon.